So I mentioned spirituality in my on my last video I did, and it's something I want to try to focus on, as well as like try to put more attention to and like kind of help people out in a sense, because I feel like personally I see a spiritual awakening amongst our society, amongst our community. I don't know if it's just like where I work. Like I work at Earthbound, like it's a hippie store. Like I see them every single day, But I don't know. It could just be me, but this is just for the people who like are thinking about getting into spirituality thing. I don't know. Just for people to help out. So, like in my past, I talked about in the last video, where it's like I was one of those guys who'd be like, oh, I'm a Buddhist, and like not know shit about Buddhism. You know what I mean? I was kind of a poser, hipster kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm a Buddhist because Christianity ain't it. You know what I mean? Like, just one of those things. But as I went on, I learned, I taught myself what I needed to know and like what I was missing out on, honestly, because like my whole perception of what Buddhism was is completely wrong. So like I didn't like Buddhism as much as I thought I would. So it's just like kind of roll the dice. So one summer I spent the entire summer reading up on everything I needed to know about spirituality and the philosophies of the world, and kind of help me out in like what I wanted to do, as a guide. So in this book I wrote everything about anything I wanted to write. I'm not gonna go into the individuals between Buddhism and Hinduism and like Taoism and Confucius. I'm not gonna go into the specifics, but I'm just gonna give you my tips and like my ways to help out and like how to get into spirituality and like if you're looking about it. I think the first step is to kind of realize what are the differences between spirituality and religion. So with religion, I feel like this is my opinion. To clarification, so I feel like with religion, with religion, I feel like you're following someone else's narrative. You're following someone else's spiritual journey. Like you are reading up on their spiritual journey and like having someone else tell you what it's supposed to mean and how to interpret it. You can totally disagree on what it means or what it's supposed to mean or what it means to you. Okay? But at the same time, regardless, you're following someone else's spiritual journey. Rather, with spirituality, you're having your own religious experience on your own, and you have more control over it. You have the options to do the things that you want to do that help you make you feel happy and make you feel satisfied and help you make you feel more one with the universe. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Like with religion, typically with religion you're only that one faith you choose. You don't typically see people being like, oh, I'm a Christian on Mondays. No, I'm a Christian on Wednesdays and Sundays, but on Mondays and Fridays I go to the mosque with my friends. Like you don't typically see that kind of like thing, unless they're a more open-minded person or they're kind of trying to experiment or trying to get all the knowledge they can from all the sources they can. You know what I mean? But that's kind of uncommon. Spirituality, you're able to do that. You're able to get all the references you can from each philosophy and nitpick what you find out of all of them what you like, and then do it. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, you can just pick one and be strictly a Hindu or strictly a Buddhist or, follow those religious texts or those religious, practices. But to me, I think the beauty in it is being able to venture out and see different lights and see different points of views of what certain things mean. Of course, the underlying story of it all is the same, love is the way, and, we're all one, and be patient and all those things. But they all have different ways of, like, wording it. Some things word it better for you to like it or understand it or for it to click more, So it's just whatever you like. And so I guess I'll just go into, like, what ways to make spirituality easy for you guys to, like, get to know it. What to do to start off. I think the best way to get into meditation, or to get into spirituality, is to meditate. Now, meditation isn't for everybody. Meditation takes a certain kind of person, and of course if you Google meditation, ways of meditation, there's hundreds of ways to meditate. But you kind of have to practice and like find out what you like most and do that. Like set a schedule. And so meditating, I feel like people have their wrong perception of it, where you're supposed to be thoughtless and like sit still and be all peaceful and be wanted and stuff, No. Meditation is like, it's just a way of controlling your thoughts and having you be able to manage them in a way. Like, so with meditation, it's just like in a way of like practicing and controlling your mind to come back to one singular point. Because of course because you can't be thoughtless when meditating, you know what I mean? You can't be thoughtless. Like, you're going to hear the cars go by your window, or you're going to hear the plane fly over your house, or you're going to hear people talking in the other room. Like, regardless, you're going to hear these things, and it's going to distract you. And so meditation is bringing all that stuff back in. Like your mind's just going to like expand of like everything you're hearing, everything's around you. You're going to feel the room around you. But the whole point of meditation is to bring it back into one singular point in your mind, so that way it's just controlling you. It's just being able to filter it out. You know what I mean? And so Alan Watts, who is an amazing philosopher, I 10 out of 10 recommend listening to one of his lectures about spirituality or religion or the things. He's an amazing guy. He says the trick to meditating is to think about what thoughtlessness would look like. Now, it's tricking your mind into thinking about thoughtlessness. The thing that everyone thinks meditation is you're thoughtless, and a calm mind. But it's to try to calm down your mind. People who are anxious, people who overthink, they, their mind's running 1,000 miles per hour. You know what I mean? So it's just a way to help control and reduce the thoughts to a point where it's more retainable and more adjustable. For meditation, I think to set a daily routine. Have a schedule. Don't have a schedule and stick to it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna meditate in the morning or meditate at night. You know what I mean? Meditate before you go to sleep or meditate after you wake up. One of those things. But it's all up to you. But at the same time, since it's up to you, you have to have that self-discipline. To stick to that routine. And of course, you follow out your routine every now and then. But the whole point of it is to make sure you come back to it. You're gonna feel the repercussions of it. You're gonna feel the positivity that comes out of it. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel more light. You're gonna feel more on your feet. You're gonna feel more in control of your own dharma, your own life, your own path. And it's a great feeling. And then once you follow out your meditation, once you follow up your routine, you're gonna feel it immediately. You're gonna be oh, I feel drowsy today. Oh, I feel tired. My neck hurts. You're gonna feel it right away. So I recommend have a routine that's easy for you to stick to, as well as something that's easy to come back to. Because 10 out of 10, you're gonna fall out of it. You're gonna oh, I stayed up late tonight, and so I don't want to wake up early to meditate. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. You're gonna have to have that self-discipline. The thing I think is to surround yourself with things that are spiritual and have power and have meaning to you. You know what I mean? Surround yourself with stones and crystals. If you're into crystals, read on crystals. Read up on crystals, healing crystals. We sell crystals in my store, and it's I had to learn about them more than I think I ever thought I would in my life. Because quartz means clarity, and amethyst means positivity. You know what I mean? Of course they have these different attributes and stuff, but at the same time, amethyst can mean clarity if you want to mean clarity. You know what I mean? It's whatever you put your mind into it. You have to have the dedication. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in it for it to work. So skeptics out there kind of drive people away from it. But they never experienced it. And to me, I believe crystals have their own purpose. They have their healing purpose. You know what I mean? It's been transcended thousands and thousands of years, way, way, way through time. You know what I mean? It can't not work for it to be this so far along. You know what I mean? But yeah, surround yourself with things that you think are spiritual, things that you think have power, things that motivate you, things that have meaning in your life. I wear these mala beads. Oh my god. I wear these mala beads. And so mala beads are prayer beads, for meditation, So when you meditate, oh my god, girls, what up? So mala beads have 108 beads on them. And 108 is a very significant number in the universe. And there's a big one to know when you start and stop, So it's just to help you keep time and keep track of it, I wear these mala beads all the time because I feel like they have they have spiritual meaning to me. I feel like these are my babies. And I wear them all the time. You can get them on Amazon for 20 bucks or whatever. Options to pick them. You have options to decide on which ones you like and which are more stylish for you, you know, if you want to be, you know, stylish about it, you know, you can have your own. So, I have this prayer scarf from India. And it has a little Om, it has Om circles on them, you know? It has these Oms on them, which are like dope. But yeah, like Om is a very significant number in the universe as well. I might do a separate video on Om. Because it deserves its own video. But yeah, I wear this all the time, you know? I wear it on my neck, styling it, or like I like wrap my head on it, or wrap my head around it, you know? And just let it wear it, so that way I can, you know, it's on me at all times, you know? One of those things, you know? Because I feel like it's a sacred, you know? Like, surround yourself with things that you think are sacred, you know? To you. It doesn't have to be sacred in real life, you know? But it can be sacred to you. So singing bowls are used for meditation in India. They are dope. They come in all different sizes and materials. They have crystal bowls. But yeah, I have all these things around my room and around me on what I wear all the time that help me feel more true to myself and help me feel more focused on what I'm doing. Helps remind me saying, oh yeah, I'm on my spiritual path. I should do my meditation tonight, or I should do my yoga stretches this tomorrow or whatever. You know what I mean? It helps remind you. But yeah, you know, like, and I have all these different paintings on my room. I have my room's like surrounded with it, you know? So it's like something to like just something to keep in mind. Have, you know, be in the environment that helps you feel more comfortable with what you're doing. Like I have that Om painting my friend did. I love it. Thanks, Emily. And I have this right here, the vibrations of the universe, the different chakras, you know? As well as like I have peace, love, and happiness written on my wall right there. So yeah. And I think lastly, is everyone needs to start and like reading, you know, like start researching stuff like that. So like, if you love Hinduism or you love Buddhism and all that kind of vibes and all the things, all the quotes, you know, the Buddha quotes, seems like we are all one. Buddha, like those kind of things. Those kind of like pictures and the quotes people always post. Like, focus on that. You know, just start somewhere. You know, read up on them. You know what I mean? Read the Bhagavad Gita. Tai Te Ching. It's a book I recommend about Confucius and Taoism. They're all great books, all great reads. Reading is a great way to get yourself into it and help you have a grasp understanding. Don't be like me. Don't be like that. Don't be like 7th grade Joseph being like, oh, I'm a Buddhist. You know, when I meditate, I don't breathe. Like, I said that shit. Like, and like, you know, and like with Buddhism and Hinduism and all these different kind of like philosophies from East Asia, it's all about what you do with it and how you understand it and how you try to help yourself push to become more one with the universe. I believe this stuff works. I believe spirituality is a very helpful tool, a very helpful thing to help you find out who you really are. Help you in your ego struggles. You know, we all have our egos that help us, you know, that kind of attach us to this world, you know. So yeah. So these are my tips and tricks about spirituality. I hope this helped. Hope you liked it. If you want me to do more videos about spirituality or different things about it, I will. I'm probably doing them anyway. If you don't like them anyway, I'm gonna do them just for me. I like talking about them. I like being a cool like little dude teacher for them and stuff. Yeah, and you know, we're all on this spiritual journey together. We're all on this path of life together. We're in this together. We're all in this together. High School Musical said it all. My name is Joseph Vassar. This is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, share. Yeah, I have a company called NSFW. Please support. We're a multimedia company and outlet for artists and creatives. Pretty dope. We're just kind of in our pre-beta stage. We are just getting started and everything's great. We're hoping to have some t-shirts out in the near future. So if you want some, stay tuned for that. They're going to be dope. They're going to be designed by our very own Bald Boy, Anaya Lewis, and Natalie Fleuret. That sounded pretty cool. I'm gonna put our Instagram down below. Yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. I'm gonna pull a thing for like the NSFW video if you want to know more about my company and what our mission is and all that jazz. I'll catch you guys on the flip side later.